All right, so what's good, homies? What's good? It's your man King Ray Ray. Welcome back to the kingdom. Today's topic is how to build a life you love. How to build a life you love. And basically, not be afraid to fail, succeed, or do anything other than not try at all. This is what I want you men to take with you from this particular message. No matter what else I've said to you, I want you to remember that really the only thing you can do, the main thing you can do, is build yourself into the best version of yourself and then build that into the best life that you could have. Now, this isn't something that can be applied to just anyone because the reality of the scenario is that this basically applies to men because men and women have different responsibilities and the social structure for both men and women is different. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this applies across the board and both men and women can do this. That's just not the truth. And far be it from me to tell you something that's not true and won't apply to you and make it seem like it does. Now, here's the reality of the scenario. When you take your time and focus on the thing you need to focus on in life, you'll come to a quick understanding that it takes a lot of focus to build a life you love and stop making excuses why you can't focus on your goal. A lot of times, men function in a realm of low moral fiber, and there is a financial gain to low moral fiber. There is. But the reality of the scenario is that it's just not something that you could be comfortable with. It's not something that you could believe in. It's not something that you could tell yourself, I'm going to build my life based on this low moral fiber. Because there's going to be a bunch of consequences and repercussions that come along with the so-called blessings that you think you receive. See, there is such thing as receiving blessings, and there's a such thing as thinking you're receiving blessings. And the reality of the scenario is if you are not receiving the blessings that you think you are, it's probably because you lack moral fiber. Yes, you can look around you and see people, men, women, everyone who is functioning in a realm of lack of moral fiber. But that doesn't mean that you're going to do it. That doesn't mean that you should do it. That doesn't mean that you're going to benefit from it the same way that they do. You see, the truth of the matter is that you have to understand that integrity and moral fiber go hand in hand. You can't have integrity with low moral fiber. Integrity is substance of character. Moral fiber is substance of character. Those two things, they're almost interchangeable. It's just that moral fiber covers more ground than integrity does. But integrity covers some of the same ground, spiritual ground, human behavior ground that moral fiber does. See, with integrity and moral fiber, you become a man who understands the value of mutual respect. You understand what it means to respect someone and have them respect you in return. You understand what it means to have someone respect you and you respect them in return. You understand the value of respect so much that you have come to the realization and embraced the fact that mutual respect is the most beneficial form of respect. It's the same thing you want in a relationship with a woman. You want mutual respect. You want to respect her as your woman. You want her to respect you as her man. You want to respect her femininity the same way you want her to respect your masculinity. And these are the things you have to focus on in order to build a life you love. You have to understand that if someone respects you, you cannot disrespect them in return. But you also have to understand that if someone disrespects you, you can't be one of those turn the other cheekers who says, okay, you've disrespected me, but I'm going to be the bigger person and respect you anyway. That's not what true life, true success, true joy is built on. True joy is built on not having those mornings where you wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and regret how you handled something the day before because you know you handled it in a way that's disrespectful to yourself. You can't live that life. I think you're going to build a life you love. Because, see, a life you love is just not about financial increase. A life you love is about overall, you love waking up, you love going to sleep, you love hanging out, you love going to work out, you love eating, you love traveling, you love your life. You love your life no matter what you're doing because you love the life itself. These are the types of things that we must understand. These are the types of things that we must be aware of. Because it doesn't make any sense to do it any other way or function any other way in this life. We're responsible for our own behaviors. We're responsible for our own actions in this life. That's why you can't show favoritism to someone based on what? Based on their popularity, based on their fame, based on their fortune, based on their notoriety, based on how you think it'll benefit you in the future. You can't show favoritism. Favoritism is unfair. Favoritism is not mutual respect. Favoritism is respect of person, respecting that person more than you respect this person just because. Not that this person deserves more respect, but there's more benefit to you, financial benefit, popularity benefit, to show that person respect, even though that person may deserve the respect more. You can't play both sides. That's not how you win in life. You can't be one of those people who's going to play both sides. That's counterproductive. You can't live your life that way. You're asking life to defeat you. You're asking the world to take your opportunity to succeed in life away from you. You're giving it away. You can't feed into someone else's sense of entitlement because that indicates that you're the same type of person who has a sense of entitlement. If you don't function on a high moral fiber, then you're going to have a sense of entitlement. There are certain ways that you can function in this world where God is going to bless you. There are certain other ways you can function in this world where you can work hard and be unscrupulous and you can get the financial benefit. That's the problem with money. That's why the love of money is the root of all evil, because the love makes you do anything for it. If you don't love it, yes, we all want to have it. It is good to have. You need it to function in this society in an efficient way. But here's the thing. If you don't love it, you won't do anything for it. You won't let it compromise your moral fiber. You won't let it compromise your integrity. You won't let it compromise your knowledge of the benefits of mutual respect. You would do the things that make sense. You would do the things that are upright. You would do the things that are straight up and down and beneficial to all parties involved. I don't do things that aren't beneficial to my entire team. I don't. Because no matter what happens, I have to remember that teamwork makes the dream work. So how are you not going to do things that benefit your team? Do things that benefit you but are detrimental to your team. I'm not saying everything that I do has to benefit my team, but there's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to be a detriment to my team. There are some things I'm going to do that are just going to benefit me, but when I benefited, the team is benefited. It makes me a better boss. It makes me a better leader. It makes me more likely to share with them on future things. All of this, the lack of integrity, lack of moral fiber, lack of mutual respect principle, and show of favoritism to other people, especially unrelated people. When you're showing favoritism to people you're not even related to, man, come on, man. That doesn't even make sense. But that's what makes you combative, confrontational, and adversarial about everything. You don't care about that many things to be that confrontational, combative, and adversarial about everything. Every single thing that says you got to have an opinion on it. Every single problem that arises, you got to have an opinion on it. Every single spat that arises between two people, you got to insert yourself in the middle of it. Yes, you may make some money, but you are not growing as a human being, as a man. Your spirituality is suffering during those times. All those things are emotional mind frames. Caring about what people say, caring about what people do, especially when it has nothing to do with you. I don't care about two people having a problem with one another. That has nothing to do with me. I don't care. And I don't have to show favoritism to one side or the other. I can deal with whoever I want to deal with in this life. So can you. I don't worry about things. If I don't have a problem with that person, but you do, you and me ain't tight enough for me to have a problem with them just because you do. Unless we're family. I'm talking about real family. If we family, if you my blood, oh yeah. If you my blood, we got a problem. If they got a problem with you, they got a problem with me. But anything other than blood, no. No, if we're not blood related relatives, man, why would I care? And I'm not saying just because we're related that I'm gonna roll with you. No, no. But what I'm saying, if I'm gonna roll with someone, just because it's gonna be somebody, man, that's family, somebody that I grew up with, man, since we were knee high to counterflies. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. Since we were eating Cheetos, swatting mosquitoes. You understand? So what I'm telling you is this, man. These are things that you must avoid if you want to build a life you love. Because if you incorporate these things into your life, you're gonna have a life that you're gonna be able to benefit from. You're gonna have some financial benefit, but you're also gonna have a lot of enemies around you. You're gonna have a lot of haters around you. You're gonna have a lot of people who don't want to see you win around you. You're gonna have a lot of hangers on, people who only act like they want to see you win because you're putting out because they're benefiting from your wins. You're not going to have any authentic people around you because authentic people like me don't hang around people like you. That's the problem. You're going to have people around you, but you're not going to have authentic people around you. People who are going to keep it straight up and down with you regardless. People who are never going to look at you as somebody they can use or get over on. We all deserve to have that. We all deserve to have that. See, this lack of moral fiber and integrity, this is why so many men get in their feelings whenever you don't agree with their outlooks. Man, listen, I don't have to agree with your outlook. You don't have to agree with mine. If you don't agree with my outlook, then don't worry about my outlook. You don't have to listen to my outlook. You don't have to take my outlook. You don't have to speak on my outlook. You can if you want to, but why be concerned about an outlook that shouldn't matter to you? Your outlook don't matter to me. Ain't nothing about your outlook gonna make me get in my feelings. I don't have to agree with you. Here's what you have to understand. We're all products of our environment. We're all influenced by our upbringing. We're all shaped by our own trials and tribulations. The obstacles that I face may be different from the obstacles you face. And so that's going to make our outlooks different. But it doesn't even matter why our outlooks are different. The problem is that you getting your feelings about somebody else's outlooks. Why? If someone believes something that you think is just a straight up bold faced lie, why would you care about them believing that? Who cares? When you lack integrity, moral fiber, and the understanding of the benefits of mutual respect, this is what you do. You create animosity with someone because of their outlooks. You create, and you can speak on whoever outlook you want to speak on. That's just speaking on it. You have the right to speak on what you want to speak on. But when you create animosity with someone, when you want to have some animosity between you and another person because you don't agree with their outlooks, that doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. That's that mutual respect thing. Because in order to create animosity where there is none, there has to be some disrespect. You have to disrespect someone in some kind of way. That's why I recommend that as a man, as you become more and more successful and you become more and more at peace with your life, not just financial success, but spiritual success, physical success, mental success. When you become more successful in life, I recommend that you start to shorten your reach. You understand? Your circle should be smaller. Your circle should be too small to let a square in. That is just how it should be. Yes, a tough life. It's a tough way to be because we all want human companionship on the surface. But when we dig into who we are, what we all want is peace. Many people stop short of peace because human companionship is a mild, very mild replacement for peace of mind. A mild, mediocre, temporary replacement for peace of mind. Peace of mind is priceless. Human companionship is not. And that's just the reality of it. Here's another thing. You can't always be trying to debate over everything. If you want to live a life you love, man, listen. If you debating over everything, you're not building a life you love. You're sitting in limbo, worrying about debating about some things that don't matter to you. That's why I never debate. I don't debate. I speak what I'm gonna speak, and that's it. We're not gonna debate. You ain't gonna see me in no debate. I don't want to debate. I tried it once, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The energy of it is a waste of time. There's nothing to gain. If you're in a presidential debate, yes, you're trying to gain a seat at the White House, man. You're trying to sit at the White House dining room table at the head seat, man. That's different. But debating for the sake of debating is senseless. It's useless. It's fruitless. It's a waste of time, and it represents that you don't have any power to build your own life. You are undoubtedly stuck in a dead end existence where you don't have much control to improve it or change it. It doesn't make any sense to sit and debate your life away. Who wins when you debate your life away? Tell me who wins. When you're sitting debating your life away, who wins? Help me understand. Who's the winner in that? Who takes the cake? Who takes the title? Who takes the championship ring is what I want to know. No one does. Another thing that this is one of the most important things that will cause you to lose out on even an attempt to build a life you love. Prizing women. You can't do it. You can't prize a woman so much that you believe she makes your life better without her proving it. Without her ever doing anything. She's just you saying, oh, I'll have the prize. That means you don't understand the definition of prize. A prize automatically improves your life. We're not talking about a secret toy surprise and a Cracker Jack box. We're talking about grown folk talk. A prize, anytime you win a prize, it benefits your life. It improves your life. So there's no way that someone you just met can improve your life when they haven't had the opportunity to prove any way that they can. That's why I say if you're building a life you love, you don't have time to be out here traipsing around, spending time, cold approaching and chasing women for what? For that one thing that is non-rewarding? For that thing that is non-rewarding. I'm telling you, homies, it's non-rewarding. Look at the benefits. Look at how much better it is when a woman comes to you. But even then, it still is unrewarding. There are things in life, many things in life that are much more rewarding than a fleeting physical feeling. Many things. And so you can't do that. You can't be messy. A messy man can find no success unless he just finds success as being a messy guy. Pulling different strings to create different tangents of animosity, different narratives where, two people that formerly didn't have a problem, now they don't like each other, or someone who formerly didn't have a problem with him likes him, or you can't be that type of guy, man. You can't be that. You're not going to benefit in life being that type of person, man. You may make a little money, but we got to stop acting like making a little money. It's a real benefit in life outside of your ability to be able to buy stuff. When you really think about it, tell me who on this planet can't live a quality life on six figures? I mean, if you bring in home six figures, right at six figure, 100,000 a year. If you bring home six figure, your net pay per year after tax and everything is $100,000 a year. You can live a high quality life off of that. You can live a high quality life off of that. I'm telling you, you can. And of course, you may not live like a celebrity, but you're not a celebrity. What's the purpose in living like a celebrity if you're not a celebrity? Why would you even want to live like a celebrity if you're not a celebrity? How much sense does that make? It doesn't make sense at all. At all. So we're talking, if you can't make it out $8,300 a month, if you can make it out 8,000 a month, I don't know what kind of life you live in. You living beyond your means, because there are people living out 4,000 a month. There are people living out 3,000 a month. You understand? The average income per capita in the US, man, is right around, 4,000 a month, 4,500 a month. When you really think about that, man, that's you gotta stop acting like you can be paid off for anything. Stop acting like money can make you do anything. Like you got a price in all ways. They say, well, y'all have a price. But man, you got a price in everything. You can be bought to do anything. You can be paid to do anything. Nah, man, you can't be that way. You can't be that way, man. It just doesn't make sense to be that way. It's useless. It's fruitless. It's non-beneficial. That's what it is. It's useless, fruitless, and non-beneficial for you to even think about being that way. I'll tell you something else. You can't be trying to bait people in. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to build a life you love, man, you want people around you that want to be around you. Anybody you gotta bait in, like if you gotta lie to somebody about the benefits of a product, or if you gotta lie to somebody about how much money they're gonna make off of investment, man, you don't want those people around you, because those people are eventually gonna have animosity towards you. There's that word again, animosity. We don't want to live that life, because that's manipulation. That's manipulation. And many people function on a principle of manipulation. And I'm not talking about positive manipulation. I'm not talking about manipulation. There's a manipulation that's just to gain benefit off someone, no matter how bad it hurts them. Then there's manipulation that's a combination, rather, a combination of managing and motivation. Management and motivation is manipulation. You put management and motivation together, those things are manipulation. Employee morale, that's a manipulation, but it's a positive manipulation. You understand? Employee morale is a positive information, is a positive manipulation. But many people use negative manipulation. They use self-beneficial manipulation. Primary benefit manipulation. And you can't be one of those people, because that's not how you build a life you love. You build a life you love by building a life that other people love to see you love. You understand? If you're winning and the people around you like to see you winning, man, you are building a positive environment with positive energy, and people feel it. One thing that people cannot deny they feel, two things rather, negative energy and positive energy. People are going to feel your energy. If you got positive energy, people are going to love you. If you got negative energy, people are going to feel it and they're going to shy away from you. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And another thing you can't do, you can't worry about other men. Why are you worrying about what the next man is doing? Why are you worrying about it? If you're a content creator, you ain't got no business watching nobody else's numbers. You got to watch your numbers. Watch your numbers and see how they've grown over the past year. That's all you got to do. Watch your numbers, do your thing, watch it grow. If you're in any business, don't worry about what the competition is doing. Your objective is to grow. You build a life you love by building a life that grows. You build a life that if you nurture it, if you water it and give it sunlight and give it food, it grows. You don't want a life that's stagnant. You don't want a life that gets to the point right where it's supposed to bud flowers, but the flowers never come. That's not the life you want. That's not the life I want. That's not the life we want. And the only way to make sure that you avoid that life is to put God first in everything you do. That don't mean pray. That don't mean thank him for everything. No, that means put him first in everything you do. You know what that means? That means before you do something, you think about the way of the Most High, and you apply his precepts and principles to whatever you're doing. You don't cross those lines. You don't do that dirt. You keep it clean. You keep it lean. You keep it mean. And don't let no evil energy slide in between. We're going to head on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, I did this one. I meant to open it up public, but for some reason I didn't. But once I started recording, I just went ahead and recorded it. And I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. It's been real in the field. Y'all put God first. Keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Until we meet again in the kingdom. Peace.